Welcome back. I am Pratap here. Today is 30 January 2025. In this video, I am going to generate different supply demand zone reports useful to the premium subscribers. Even before that, please understand we are providing complete free training on supply demand zone price action. You might be knowing the cost of the training is over 8,000 US dollars. But we are providing complete free training and all the training lessons are available at our NeoStock YouTube channel. At our channel homepage, please click on the tab Posts. Some of you might be seeing the tab Community. So click on the Community tab. You get access to this post. This post is having a YouTube playlist link that will take you to all the training lessons. You just click on the link. Now we are at Supply Demand Zone Price Action course playlist. Here you have all the training lessons are available. You need to start your training from lesson 1.1. So you need to scroll down to the bottom of the page. And here all these lessons are placed in an order. They are available in an order. And you need to follow the training instructions I mentioned at our Telegram channel. And these instructions are available at our Telegram channel, pinned messages. So if you learn according to my training instructions, definitely you will be a very good independent trader in the coming days. So please go through all these lessons one by one and strengthen your skills related to supply demand zone price action. Okay, now, and one more thing, I gave you the Telegram channel link in this video description. So from the video description, you can join at our Telegram channel. You can find the link there. Okay, now let's get into the report generation with the help of NeoStock Software Supply Demand Zone Top-Down Analysis Strategy Builder. We are going to generate different reports. First, we will identify stocks near demand and supply zones for all the time frames, and we will also identify price closed inside the demand and supply zones for higher time frames like yearly time frame until daily time frame. So I am starting with yearly time frame. Price closed inside the yearly demand zone. We got 4 stocks. I am giving you only few seconds time to watch the report. I request you pause the video, study the report, and then after that you can proceed with the next reports. In case if you does not understand the structure of this report, I request you complete our training lesson 21.1. That is part 1 of lesson 21. In that video I have explained each and every column, their values, abbreviations in detail. Okay, next. Yearly time frame, price closed inside the yearly supply zones, no zones are available. So next time frame is half yearly, stocks near half yearly demand zone. We have 1 stock, India Mart. Next half yearly time frame, stocks near half yearly supply zone. You got 1 stock, UPL. Next, half yearly time frame, price closed inside the half yearly demand zone. We got 8 stocks. Next, half yearly time frame, price closed inside the half yearly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Next time frame is quarterly, stocks near quarterly demand zone. We got 1 stock. Next quarterly time frame, stocks near quarterly supply zone. We got 3 stocks. Next quarterly time frame, price closed inside the quarterly demand zone. We got 33 stocks. So first 23 stocks in this list I am displaying. I am scrolling the list down. So total 33 stocks are filtered. inside, price closed inside these quarterly demand zones. We can further filter high probability setup quarterly demand zones based on the quarterly EMA confluence. So for these 33 stocks, let me add quarterly EMA filter. So in the EMA confluence filter at quarterly time frame, I am setting the filter quarterly demand zone having quarterly EMA confluence. The demand zone should have EMA confluence, quarterly EMA confluence. And obviously when you set EMA confluence, the trend should not be sideways. It should not be. It can be up or down. Because sideways trend, EMA confluence does not add any extra advantage. You already learned in our training videos. So let me filter. Now the list is come down to 19 stocks. All these 19 quarterly demand zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. Okay, next, quarterly time frame. Price closed inside quarterly supply zone. We got 49 stocks. Sorry, this is daily. Let me change it to quarterly. Quarterly time frame. Price closed inside quarterly supply zone. We got 5 stocks. That's what I'm wondering. How come big list we got? So these 5 stocks are currently closed, price closed inside the quarterly supply zone. Okay, next time frame is monthly. But meanwhile, have we verified how many of these quarterly zones are having quarterly EMA confluence? No. So let me add the filter in the EMA confluence, quarterly time frame, quarterly supply zone having quarterly EMA confluence, and trend on the quarterly time frame can be up or down with these filters. Out of 5, we got 3 stocks. So these 3 quarterly supply zones are having quarterly EMA confluence. That way you can identify the best zones. Okay, next time frame is monthly. Stocks near monthly demand zone. We got 9 stocks. Next, monthly time frame. Stocks near monthly supply zone. We got 4 stocks. Next, monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly demand zone. We got 40 stocks. First 18 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 40 stocks are filtered. Out of these 40, how many are having monthly EMA confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA confluence monthly time frame, I am setting the filter monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence, and trend on the monthly time frame can be up or down. With these filters, we got 20 stocks. So these 20 monthly demand zones are having monthly EMA confluence, and also current price closed inside these monthly demand zones. Okay, next, monthly time frame. Price closed inside the monthly supply zone. We got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, how many monthly supply zones are having monthly EMA confluence? Let's add that filter EMA confluence on monthly time frame. I am setting the filter monthly supply zone having monthly EMA confluence, and trend on monthly time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. Now 3 stocks are filtered, but these 3 monthly supply zones are pierced supply zones. So you can use pierced zone strategy on these zones. You land in lesson 28. Okay, this is about monthly time frame. Next time frame is weekly. Stocks near weekly demand zone. We got 12 stocks. Next, weekly time frame, stocks near weekly supply zone. We got 13 stocks. Next, weekly time frame, price closed inside the weekly demand zone. We got 78 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down. Okay, out of these 78, how many of these weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence? Let's verify. In the EMA confluence parameter at weekly time frame, I am setting the filter weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, and trend on weekly time frame should be either up or down. So with these filters, out of 78, we got 9 stocks. So these 9 weekly demand zones are having weekly EMA confluence. Some of these weekly demand zones are pierced zones. You can apply pierced strategy on those zones. Remaining stocks, you can plan trades as per your trade setups, whatever the comfortness you have. Okay, this is about price closed inside the weekly demand zone. Next, weekly time frame. Let us find price closed inside weekly supply zone. We got 21 stocks. So first 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. So total 21 stocks are filtered. Out of these 21, how many are having weekly EMA confluence? The weekly supply zones having weekly EMA confluence. Let us find. In the EMA confluence at weekly time frame, I am setting the filter weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence, and trend at weekly time frame I am setting up or down with these filters. We got 8 stocks. From 21 we got 8 stocks. These 8 weekly supply zones are having weekly EMA confluence, and a few supply zones are also pierced supply zones. They are useful for applying pierced zone strategy, land in lesson 28. Okay, this is about weekly time frame. Next time frame is a daily. Entry time frame daily. Let us find the stocks near daily demand zone. We got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, let us identify high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Bajaj Finance is having a high liquidity zone. Canara Bank Financial Home Services, we have high liquidity zone. IndusInd Bank is not valid, it is a pierced zone. Metropolis is having a high liquidity zone. Punjab National Bank is having a high liquidity zone. So total we identified 4 high liquidity daily demand zones from this list. Okay, next, daily time frame. Let us find the stocks near daily supply zone. We got 17 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 17 stocks are identified. Out of these 7, let us identify high liquidity 75 daily supply zones. IRCTC is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. Max Health is having a high liquidity daily supply zone. MGL is having a high liquidity supply zone. SBI card is having a high liquidity supply zone. TI India is having a high liquidity supply zone, and Zydus Life is having a high liquidity supply zone. So we have identified 6 high liquidity supply zones from this list. Okay. Next, for daily time frame, let us find the stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone. We got 35 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 35 stocks where price closed inside the daily demand zone. Out of these 35, let us further filter based on the daily EMA Confluence. Daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence filter, at a daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA Confluence. And the trend and at a daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. So with these filters, from 35, the list is come down to 3 stocks. Out of these 3, ITC is having a pierced daily demand zone. Okay, this is about price closed inside the daily demand zone. Next, for daily time frame, price closed inside the daily supply zone. We got 49 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. NIFTY is also NIFTY, NIFTY Bank, NIFTY Financial Services, that is FinNIFTY. All 3 are closed inside the daily supply zone. If these supply zones are violated, daily trend will be changed. NIFTY will move on to daily trend change to uptrend. NIFTY Bank and FinNIFTY, the trend from downtrend, it will be changed to sideways trend. Okay, I am scrolling the list down. So total 49 stocks are filtered. Now let us further filter this list based on daily supply zones having daily EMA Confluence. So in these 49 stocks, I am applying the filter EMA Confluence at a daily time frame by setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. And the trend at a daily time frame should not be sideways. It can be up or down. With these filters, now the list is come down to 23 stocks from 49. So first 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. So total 23 stocks are filtered. So this is about daily time frame. Next time frame is 125 minutes. Stocks near 125 minutes demand zone. We got 9 stocks. Next 125 minutes time frame. Stocks near 125 minutes supply zone. We got 13 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 75 minutes. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Let us identify high liquidity zones. We don't have any high liquidity demand zones from this list. That means we don't have 75 minutes high liquidity demand zones. Okay, next 75 minutes time frame. Let us find the stocks near 75 minutes supply zone. We got 19 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. I am scrolling the list down. Total 19 stocks are filtered. Let us identify high liquidity 75 minute supply zones. Nifty Financial Services, that is FinNifty, is a high liquidity zone. It is listed in F&O. NCC is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. REC Limited is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. And UBL is having a high liquidity 75 minute supply zone. We identified 4 high liquidity 75 minute supply zones from this list. Okay. So we identified daily and 75 minutes high liquidity zones. So the next time frame is 25 minutes. Stocks near 25 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Next 25 minutes time frame. Stocks near 25 minutes supply zone. We got 7 stocks. Okay, next time frame is 15 minutes. Stocks near 15 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Okay, let us identify how many of these stocks are having a ITF zone confluence demand zone. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. So out of 6, we got only 1 stock. So this 15 minutes demand zone is a part of the 75 minutes demand zone. That means overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. That is what zone confluence. Okay, next for 15 minutes time frame, stocks near 15 minutes supply zone, we got 10 stocks. Out of these 10, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? Let's verify. That is 15 minute supply zone with 75 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 5 stocks. And third one is a pierced zone. It may not be useful. Okay, next time frame is 5 minutes. Stocks near 5 minutes demand zone. We got 6 stocks. Out of these 6, how many are having ITF demand zone confluence? That is 5 minutes demand zone with 15 minutes demand zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. So with this filter, we got 3 stocks. First one is a pierced one. Okay, next for 5 minutes time frame, stocks near 5 minutes supply zone, we got 16 stocks. First 15 stocks in the list. Scrolling the list down. Okay, out of these 16, how many are having ITF supply zone confluence? That is 5 minute supply zone with 15 minute supply zone confluence. I am enabling this filter. Now 9 stocks are filtered. Out of these 9, few are pierced zones, only 1. Okay, this is about stocks near demand and supply zones for different time frames. Next, let us generate Nifty and Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Let me start with Nifty, generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. This is Nifty monthly supply demand zone chain. Always look into the zone column to find high liquidity zones. Look into the pierced column to find the pierced zones. Always look into the LTF trend to find the trend of the current time frame you have selected. And higher time frames are ITF and HTF. So apply these same rules for the remaining supply demand zone chain reports, and also don't forget to pause the video and study the report and then only move on to the next supply demand zone chain, because I am giving you very few seconds time to watch the report. Okay, next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. Next, 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So this is the nearest demand zone to the current price. Next, 15-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. So 32 is the nearest demand zone to the current price. So I'm scrolling the list down so that I'll put it in the center. So this is the nearest demand zone, and 31 is the nearest supply zone to the current price. So current price is in between these two demand and supply zones, and below the demand zones and above the supply zones. This is the way you should understand. Okay, next, 5-minute supply demand zone chain for Nifty. All these are all supply zones. To get the nearest demand zone, I need to scroll the list down. Number 48 is the nearest demand zone to the current price. 47 is nearest supply zone. I will put it in the center. Yeah. Okay. This is about Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain I will generate. That is nothing but Nifty Bank. Generating monthly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, weekly supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, daily supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 125-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 75-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Next, 25-minute supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. So 16 is the nearest demand zone. 15 is the nearest supply zone to the current closing price. Next, 15 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. #21 is the serial number 21. Nearest demand zone. Let me put it in the center by scrolling the list down. Next, 5 minutes supply demand zone chain for Bank Nifty. Nearest demand zone is number 30, serial number 30. Nearest supply zone is the pierced supply zone, number 29. Okay, let me put it in the center by scrolling the list down. Okay. So this is about Bank Nifty supply demand zone chain. Next, we will generate bullish and bearish trade setups for monthly, weekly and daily income trades. Let me start with bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. For monthly income trade, entry time frame is daily. Entry zone, bullish trade setup, demand zone. In the parameter bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame, we have to set the filter value bullish to indicate we should generate bullish trade setup for entry time frame daily, that is for monthly income trade. And then 2 filters I am setting for daily time frame, remaining time frames 3 filters. Because daily time frame pierced zones we are not filtering because you already learned pierced zone strategy. Any pierced zones you identify, you can use them for applying pierced zone strategy. But 75 minutes time frame onwards, I will filter pierced zones for bullish and bearish trade setups. Okay, for daily demand zone, we are setting 2 filters. First one is zone confluence, violated opposing zone. Second filter, minimum odd enhanced score should be 12. Both filters we are applying to daily demand zone. Let's filter the stocks. We got 7 stocks. Currently, these 7 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for monthly income trade. Entry time frame zones are daily demand zones. We have 7 daily demand zones. Out of these 7, some are already having some high probability based on high liquidity zones. We can also further filter based on another high probability parameter, zone confluence. Zone confluence, we have 2 filters. First one is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. So let us filter the 7 stocks based on that parameter. So LTF and ITF, that is nothing but LTF is daily, ITF is weekly. So daily demand zone confluence with weekly demand zone, I am enabling the filter. With this filter, out of 7 stocks, we got 6 stocks. In all these 6 stocks, these daily demand zones are overlapped with weekly demand zone. That means they are part of weekly zone. And the weekly trend is up in all the stocks, ITF trend. That's why let us further filter based on weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence, because the daily zone is part of the weekly zone. If that is the case, those stocks will be even more high probability trade setup supported stocks, the daily demand zones. So in the EMA confluence at a weekly time frame, because daily zone is part of the weekly zone, we are setting weekly demand zone having weekly EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 daily demand zones are even more high probability trade setup supported zones, bullish trade setup. Okay. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. So I am removing this EMA filter. This is ITF specific. So in the HTF specific, 3 filters we have to add: daily, weekly and monthly demand zone confluence. First filter is already enabled, daily with weekly zone confluence. Second filter, daily demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. Third filter, weekly demand zone with monthly demand zone confluence. With all the three filters are set, we got two stocks. So in these two stocks, these daily demand zones are part of the weekly demand zone. Both together again part of the monthly demand zone. And monthly trend is up in both these stocks. If any of these stocks are having monthly EMA confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported zones. Let us verify. In the EMA confluence monthly time frame, I am setting the filter monthly demand zone having monthly EMA confluence. With this filter, we got both the stocks. That means both these stocks are even much more high probability setup supported demand zones. Maybe that is the reason why JK Cement is already tested 3 times. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup, monthly income trade. Next, bearish trade setup, monthly income trade. Entry time frame is daily, but entry zone is supply zone. And also in bullish or bearish trade setup at entry time frame daily, I am selecting bearish. And the two filters, zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhance score 12. And let's filter, we got two stocks. Currently these two stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Let's further filter these two stocks based on the zone confluence. That is a daily and weekly supply zone confluence. I am enabling that filter. So with this filter we got both the stocks. Let's check if both these stocks are having, anyway second one, both these stocks downtrend is there. If they are having weekly EMA confluence. In the EMA confluence weekly time frame, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA confluence filter is enabled. Both are filtered. So these two are high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let's verify both are having a HTF confluence also. So in the supply zone confluence, we should add 2 more filters. First one is already added and remaining 2 filters. Daily supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence, weekly supply zone with monthly supply zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got only one stock. That means in this stock, this daily supply zone is part of the weekly, both together part of the monthly. But monthly trend is sideways, so I am not looking for monthly EMA confluence. So this is bearish trade setup for monthly income trade. Next, we will look into the weekly income trades. So bullish trade setup for weekly income trade, entry time frame 75 minutes, entry zone, demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes, I am setting bullish. 3 filters we have to set to 75 minutes demand zone. First is a pierced count. 75 minutes demand zone should not be pierced. So minimum value 0, maximum value 0 means zone is not pierced. Zone achievement violated opposing zone. Minimum odd enhance score 12. All 3 filters applied to 75 minutes demand zone. We got 3 stocks. Currently these 3 stocks are supporting bullish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes demand zone. Out of these 3 75 minutes demand zones, all 3 are having high probability because they are high liquidity zones. Apart from that, we will also see whether they are having zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF demand zone confluence. That is 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. So with this filter, we got 2 stocks. And both these stocks, the trend is uptrend. Let us check if daily demand zone is having EMA. These are the 75 minute zones, but they are part of the daily demand zone. That's why let's verify in the EMA confluence if daily demand zone is having daily EMA confluence or not. None of the zones are having EMA confluence, daily EMA confluence. Okay, no problem. Let us look for LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence supported stocks. So in the demand zone Confluence, first filter is already enabled. Second one, 75 demand zone with weekly demand zone Confluence. Daily demand zone with weekly EMA Confluence. We removed EMA filter, right, earlier? Yeah. We got both these stocks. In these two stocks, second one is having uptrend. Let's check if the second one is having weekly EMA Confluence. So in the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly demand zone having weekly EMA Confluence, and trend should not be sideways at weekly. So because it is bullish trade setup, trend should be uptrend. So we don't have any EMA Confluence supported zones. Okay, fine. Next, let us look for bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. Entry time frame 75 minutes. Entry zone should be supply zone. And also in bullish or bearish trade setup at 75 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. Three filters we have to set to 75 minutes supply zone. First filter is 75 minutes supply zone should not be pierced. So at 75 minutes time frame, minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. And achievement VOZ, odd enhance score 12. All three filters are applied to 75 minutes supply zone. And we got 21 stocks. Currently 21 stocks are supporting bearish trade setup for weekly income trade. And entry time frame zones are 75 minutes supply zones. All these are all 75 minutes supply zones. So first 15 stocks in the list. I'm scrolling the list down to get the remaining stocks. So total 21 stocks. Out of these 21, how many are supporting ITF supply zone Confluence? That is 75 minutes and daily supply zone Confluence. So we need to set the filter in the supply zone Confluence. I am enabling the filter 75 minute supply zone with daily supply zone Confluence. That means 75 minute zone should be part of the daily supply zone. What means overlap? See, now from 21 the list is come down to 14. These 14 75 minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in all these stocks because daily is ITF. Out of these 14, how many daily supply zones are having daily EMA Confluence? Let us find. Because 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. So we are looking into the daily supply zone. So in the EMA Confluence at a daily time frame, setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA Confluence. Out of 14, 13 stocks are filtered. So these 13 are high probability trade setup supported zones. Nifty Bank is also there. See, already Nifty Bank tested 3 times. Okay. Next, let us look for LTF, ITF and HTF supply zone Confluence. So removing EMA filter. In the supply zone Confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First one is already enabled. Remaining 2 filters. First is 75 with daily. 75 minute supply zone Confluence with weekly supply zone Confluence, daily supply zone Confluence with weekly supply zone Confluence. With all the 3 filters, we got 4 stocks. LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone Confluence. That means this 75 minute supply zone is part of the daily supply zone. Both together again part of the weekly supply zone. And weekly trend is down in the first stock and second stock. If any of those 2 stocks are having weekly EMA Confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let us verify. In the EMA Confluence, weekly time frame, weekly supply zone having weekly EMA Confluence, and trend should not be sideways on weekly. And I am setting downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. We got both the stocks. So both these stocks are even much more high probability setup supported stocks. Maybe that is the reason why ABC Capital already tested 3 times. Okay, this is about bearish trade setup, weekly income trade. Next, daily income trade, bullish trade setup. Entry time frame is 15 minutes. Entry zone is demand zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, entry time frame, I am selecting bullish. And these 15 minutes demand zones should not be pierced. We should set 3 filters on that 15 minutes demand zone. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means zone is not pierced. 15 minutes demand zone is not pierced. Should not be pierced. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minutes demand zone. Now we got 9 stocks. These 9 stocks are currently supporting bullish trade setup for daily income trade, and entry time frame zones are 15 minutes demand zones. Out of these 9 15 minutes demand zone, some are already high liquidity zones. They have high probability parameters. I mean high probability. Out of these 9, again we can further filter based on the zone confluence. So first filter is LTF and ITF, demand zone confluence. That is 15 minutes and 75 minutes demand zone confluence. I enable the filter. With this filter, from 9 the list is come down to 8 stocks. That means in all these 8 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are overlapped with 75 minutes demand zone. That means they are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. And 75 minutes trend is ITF trend, is uptrend. Because 15 minute zone is part of the 75 minute zone, and if the 75 minute zone is having daily EMA confluence, they are even much more high probability setup supported zones, these 15 minute zones. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence, 75 minutes time frame, I am setting the filter 75 minutes demand zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 demand zones are high probability trade setup supported demand zones. Okay, next filter is LTF, ITF, HTF demand zone confluence. So I am removing this ITF filter. Now we have to add HTF filters. So in the demand zone confluence, 3 filters we have to set. First filter is already set in the previous report. That is 15 minutes demand zone with 75 minutes demand zone. Second filter is 15 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. Third filter is 75 minutes demand zone with daily demand zone confluence. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF, demand zone confluence, we got 2 stocks. So in these 2 stocks, these 15 minutes demand zones are part of the 75 minutes demand zone. Both together again part of the daily demand zone. And daily trend is up only 1 stock, Bajaj Finance. If the Bajaj Finance is having daily EMA confluence, it is even more high probability trade setup supported zone. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence daily time frame, I am enabling the filter daily demand zone having daily EMA confluence, and the trend on daily time frame should be uptrend because it is bullish trade setup. We did not get any stocks. Okay, this is about bullish trade setup for daily income trade. Next, bearish trade setup for daily income trade, entry time frame 15 minutes. Entry zone is supply zone. In bullish or bearish trade setup at 15 minutes time frame, I am selecting bearish. These 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. So in the pierced count at 15 minutes time frame, I am setting minimum value 0, maximum value 0. That means 15 minute supply zone should not be pierced. Zone achievement VOZ, minimum odd enhancer score 12. All 3 filters are applied to 15 minute supply zone. Let's filter. We got 11 stocks. So these 11 stocks are currently supporting bearish trade setup for daily income trade. And entry time frame zones are 15 minute supply zones. So all these zones are 15 minute supply zones supporting bearish trade setup. And out of these 11 15-minute supply zones, some are high liquidity supply zones. And they are already having some high probability to get success. Apart from that, let us try to look for even more high probability by setting the filters related to zone confluence. First filter is LTF and ITF supply zone confluence. That is 75 minutes and 15 minutes supply zone confluence. So I am enabling the filter 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone confluence. With this filter, the list is come down to 10. In all these 10 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with daily supply zone. And a daily, 15-minute supply zones are overlapped with 75-minute supply zone, not daily. Daily is HTF. Now we are looking for LTF and ITF, that is 75 minutes and 15 minutes. And the 75 minutes, that is ITF trend, is down in all these stocks. So that's why let us verify, because 15-minute supply zone is part of the 75-minute supply zone. If 75-minute supply zone is having daily EMA confluence, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. So that's why in the EMA confluence, I am adding the filter at 75 minutes time frame. 75-minute supply zone having daily EMA confluence. With this filter, now the list is come down to 4 stocks. So these 4 supply zones are even more high probability supply zones. Maybe that is the reason why see IDFC First Bank already tested 3 times. Okay, this is about a bearish trade setup based on LTF and ITF supply zone and EMA confluence. Next, let us look for HTF also. LTF, ITF, HTF zone confluence. I am removing this ITF EMA filter. Now we need to set HTF filters. So in the supply zone confluence, 3 filters you have to set. First filter is already enabled. That is 15-minute supply zone with 75-minute supply zone. Second filter is a 15-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. Third filter is 75-minute supply zone with daily supply zone confluence. That is HTF filters. With all the 3 filters, LTF, ITF, HTF supply zone confluence, we got 5 stocks. So in these 5 stocks, these 15-minute supply zones are part of the 75-minute supply zone. Both together, again, they are part of the daily supply zone. And daily trend is down in 3rd and 5th stocks. If any of those 2 stocks are having a daily EMA confluence for daily supply zones, they are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Let's verify. In the EMA confluence daily time frame, I am setting the filter daily supply zone having daily EMA confluence, and the trend on daily time frame should not be sideways. It should be downtrend because it is bearish trade setup. So with these filters, we got 2 stocks. So these 2 stocks are even more high probability trade setup supported stocks. Okay, this is about a bearish trade setup for daily income trade. So in the final report, let us generate stop buffers based on daily ATR. First 17 in this list are indices, remaining all are equity stocks. I am scrolling the list down. Whichever the stock you want to refer, there you please pause the video. After that you can proceed further. This is the end of the report. Hope this information will be useful to you for your further study and analysis. Let us all meet again in our next video. Thank you.